Well, there she is. I missed the delivery. I was south of town actually checking out the neighbors. They have one that's about 2 years older than this, set up on the same tractor as ours, except the only difference between their tractor and ours is theirs is there's about 3 differences between their 610 Delta track and ours. They have Isobus 36-inch tracks, and they got John Deere. Who's honking at me? They got a John Deere GPS. That's it. So here's our new seeder. Pleasantly surprised to have it already. As you can see, it's bigger. I don't know if you can see it. I can definitely tell. It's bigger. It's got more features. And it's got a lot more upgrades. A little better design. We're going to do a quick run through on it. I'll try and point out a bunch of stuff. And then once, I think they're saying Monday, Tuesday, they're probably going to come. So today's Friday. Monday, Tuesday, they're probably going to come and do the PDI and initial setup. And then they'll come back in spring to do the final calibrations and make it field ready, and make sure we're doing things right. Make sure there's no communication issues, minor stuff like that. But they still need to come and put the tires on. They need to unfold. We got to change a couple of fittings on ours. Make sure everything's right. But yeah, so this is a 70-foot toolbar. It's got full blockage. So it's a triplex instead of a duplex, or whatever you want to call it, a threeplex instead of a twoplex. So from the front, obviously a little bit bigger, 70 feet instead of our old one that was 60. It's definitely got a lot more features. It comes loaded with the blockage, the Intelligent Ag blockage, and this one also has sectional control. So each manifold, all the shanks that are on each manifold are tied that they can lift up at once or however. So there's more hydraulic going on, like a lot more hydraulic hoses. But yeah, I'm digging it. They have different hose. It's supposed to be a lot better than the stuff we were using. From the front, hydraulically pretty close to the same. I like what they did here where they have the indicators so that you can tell which goes where. There's going to be a couple extra cables. We'll touch on that later. I really dig this step. Oh, excuse me, losing my voice. But more than the step, I dig that they went to steel lines. I hated the fact that ours were all hydraulic hose instead of steel. So anywhere that it needs to flex and make corners is hose and then steel. So that's a big change. They really beefed up this caster system, which I really like. We shouldn't have any more frame cracks. And these guys should last a lot longer. Also, these shouldn't catch on the frame anymore, hopefully. They have a newer style shank hydraulic. As I said, lots of hydraulic lines, and anywhere where it doesn't need to move, it's steel, and I like steel lines. We stuck with the factory points for the first couple of years. Once they wear out, we'll probably go back to the Dutch. Semi-pneumatic tires, so there's a little bit of give to them, but there's no air in them. Big honking tires. These aren't the 800s, those are 800s. These are 30.5 L 32s, so big metric tires. I really like that all the hydraulics on this one are not under the hoses on the cart connection. Everything's out in the open, so this will be your gateway one, I think. You can see that there's a GPS on that. That's for the turn compensation, I believe. That's another feature that this toolbar and cart together has. They call it SCTX, Sectional Control Technology, and the X, I don't know, expanded or extended or something like that. So that allows it to slow down the seed rate as you're turning to the left, we'll say. It slows down the left and speeds up the right so that you get the right rate on. You're not under fertilizing or overseeding or whatever because of your angular velocity. There was something else I was going to point out back here, and I can't remember what the hell it was. The stainless mains. Like, these are different hoses to begin with than what we used before. And what I really like is they went white for the fertilizer and black for the... Sorry, white for the seed runs and black for the fertilizer is what I think it is. Yeah, black. Yeah, and they did the same with the hoses up there. So that, I really like that feature. But I really, really like that they went stainless, hard tubes, and all that. The only thing I think might be a future thing is a way to put a possible walkway on here. I don't know. Different problem for a different day. We've already sunk enough money into it right now. Oh, and the one thing that we do need to put on, and I don't know if that's going to be right away, probably not, it'll probably be in the spring, is we need to put the mud scrapers on. So, yeah, she's a big honking unit. These tires are probably 10 times the surface area coverage. The seed box is on the opposite side, but it's kind of weird. I'm sure I'll get used to it. This thing's more designed to run the opposite way, which is a bit strange, but we used to fill on the left side, or sorry, the right side of the cart, but now the conveyor's on this side. Yeah, I don't know if there's any real value to it being over there, other than I see why, is that you're not in the way of all the hoses. So it is what it is. It'll probably stay there, and I'm not against it. I might build myself a step here just to make it easier to get up, and a step here, some sort of fold down step, just so that if you ever need to get up and crawl up, it's a lot easier than stepping there. The cart, oh, she is big. PD 1000 cart with 800 tires on it. They are big. So these stairs are on actuators. They come up and down. It's zip tied in place right now. There's some fuses for, this is to control the toolbar, which is a sectional control. This is for the meters and other features. It's got its own battery, its own alternator. The alternator runs off the hydraulic. It's got a gateway. It's wireless connection up to the front, except we are having one that's a hardwired system. A steerable cart. Ours only had 2 tires and it was more balanced, so it didn't have to do it. Lots of other features. The Phoenix 3s. Didn't have these before. They allow you to balance your pressures a little better in the tanks. The Batco conveyor instead of the conveyor. Another thing we're going to have to add is there's a little wedge you can get for here. That makes this lay perfectly flat on the ground for getting under trucks. Everybody says it's a must-have, so I'll try and source one of them. As far as the capacities, I can't remember them off the top of my head right now. I'll probably have to write them down somewhere, because I know they're not nearly as simple as the old 600 was a 300, a 100, and a 200. But this is our canola tank, on the 980s, this was only a 20 bushel tank. This is 1,000, so it's up. They extended it up, so now it's a 40 bushel, so you can get 2 mini bulks in. I did the math. As long as there's not too many bulks of D size, I think you can still get 2 in. That'd be a big day. 400 acres. But yeah, 4 tanks. This is your big one. Biggest, smaller, medium. I kind of think that these two are close to the same size as that one, if I remember right, but not exactly. Yeah. They're all on scales, on load cells. So that displays to the iPads. These, I don't even know what they do right now. Couldn't tell you. We have to go to a course in the winter to learn how to use this. And yeah, I'm pretty friggin' excited, if I do say so myself. She is tall too. Holy shit. Lots of lights on it, I've noticed. I think I'm still going to put cameras on. Yeah, there's a whole lot going on here. Super excited. But we'll see what the next week brings. I have no idea what those things are for. That's a gateway relay, I think. Yeah, she's a big friggin' unit. And I can't wait to use it, and we don't get to use it for another 6 months almost. It's, what, October 13th today? So November, December, January, February, March, April. Yeah. Yeah, at least 6 months we don't get to use it.